You know when you're sick and you look up on Google, like, these are my symptoms, what could it be? And cancer was that last thing on that list. It didn't feel real, and I didn't even say it. And my dad was like, let's hope that's not it. But once we got out of the office, I just recalled like vividly, like my dad and I were in the bathroom, we were like crying just because it felt so unreal. You hear about cancer from other people, to have it like hit so close to home and actually like being diagnosed with it yourself was hard. I have been into painting and watercolor. During treatment, I was really fatigued and I didn't have much energy. And so I decided that I would get a scrapbook. Actively in treatment, when I was at home, I would just document pictures. I collected all my wristbands. I would write down my nurses' names and just like collect all the notes and just draw anything that I could to kind of pass time. And so that was kind of my outlet of expression. And that was one way for me to like be true to myself while feeling all these emotions surrounding diagnosis and cancer. June, this picture here, Vlad, he was my chemo pal mentor, is one of the first mood trackers that I made. And then just a page of like scriptures that I found super helpful and just kind of like look back or like pray on it. For instance, Isaiah 43, 1-6 is super long. A part of it says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you." During treatment, it was a scary time. I felt fearful of the future in a sense, but I never felt alone in it. And so I knew that like when I was down, he was with me. I had family, I had friends, a good support system that was like in place to like get me through it. I was anxious, but like I wasn't alone in it. So I came to George Fox and I had the opportunity through the X6 scholarship. I remembered when they would tell us like, you're gonna achieve great things here at Fox and you're gonna be able to serve your community. I was like, how could I even do that? Would really like to go back to Randall's or Dornbecker, but Randall's was where I was treated, become a pediatric oncology nurse. I just have a heart for kids, and I think just that for oncology, that like past experience of being able to kind of relate to them, engaging with a patient, whether they're a child or an adult, and like being able to like walk them through those hard times and explain like it's out of their control and that we are here to support them. This year I'm an RA, and just being able to use those positions and kind of reach different audiences, reach different students through that and like serve back. So with this Kidney Drive this past month, I was able to reach these residents in Newland and also campus-wide and use that role to kind of like inspire and engage with students. We've been promoting this for a while. We've had a lot of different like departments and clubs on campus like promote it. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I figured it'd be a good way to have my residents involved. And then there's like instructions on the table. You can tie it over there. Like being creative and relationships, being able to pour back into my communities and remain grateful. That's a big part. I am so thankful just for like everyone. But in this book, I remembered I would write down all of my nurses' names and my doctors' names, and just being reminded of the people who has played a role in my life, like in the care, even if they were only there for a short period of time. I thought that, that being diagnosed as a 17-year-old in high school, like that's like the worst thing anyone could encounter. To be here now, sitting here at George Fox as a senior who's about to graduate from the nursing program, like I couldn't have imagined that when I heard this in the doctor's office. Just remain hopeful. That's a big thing. Stay hopeful. There's other great things waiting for you.
You put in your capstone survey
Yes.
that you really wanted an oncology placement.
Yes.
And you really loved one at Randall's as well. I will tell you, they approved one oncology placement. Open this card and let me know what you think.
No way.
Way.
Legacy Randall's.
Way. Yes,
Thank you
of
so
course.
much.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome.